Hello, and welcome to this video. Today, we'll be drawing Animal Crossing New Horizons characters as humans. For this, I'll be using a generator to randomly give me 4 Animal Crossing characters. So, here they are in all their glory. Now, let's begin. For Ronda, I want to go for a more wider and softer build that closely resembles her character model. At first, I couldn't really nail the posing and proportions, but after a few tries, I was able to get it down. I wanted to accentuate her gothic and Victorian style of clothing, so I fluffed up her dress and added more frills. I wanted to give her more of a snooty, almost smug expression, even though her personality type is normal, not snooty. She just kind of gives me those vibes, you know? I actually really like her color palette. The wide range of purple and the black accents just really makes her outfit and dress pop. Her character model has heavier makeup, so I decided to make the eyelashes and eyeliner thicker to resemble, eyeliner. I made her hair cling closer to her face to resemble the model, and this was probably the most complicated design out of all of the characters, but definitely my favorite of all of them. She has a more fair skin tone, so for the highlights I went for a more white tone, and for the blush and shading I chose a more rosy and softer color. Since she's more pale, I couldn't go too far into the brighter color since that would make her look sunburnt, but yeah. I think the best part about her design is probably her eyes. I adore the strikingly icy blue tone, and I think it fits for her character. Her jacket was the most complicated part, but I want to get all the folds and tones right, as well as the pattern. But yeah. For the skirt, I gave her a longer tutu. I just thought it would look nicer with all the layers over top and the ruffled sleeves and collar. Her hair was actually really satisfying to color in. I'm not exactly sure why that is, but the indigo color really fits in well with the drawing. So here she is, Miss Ronda. Coco was second, and I was actually really excited to draw her. Coco is one of my all-time favorite Animal Crossing villagers. I just love her kind of creepy and hollow face matched with her soft clothing style and attitude. I wasn't sure whether to put her hands, but ended up settling on an idle position. I gave her a half space buns, half down hairstyle with a headband mimicking her bunny ears and that little rim she has on her head. Instead of doing a whole flowing dress, I decided to kind of part it in two, with it having a top part and a bottom part separated by a bow belt connected to the dress. She has a brighter skin tone and palette, which allowed me to go into the redder and more matte colors. I was originally going to go for a more boxy eye design, but opted to go for a more natural shape with her hollow eye. I kind of made the shading look like it was blended with markers, and I'm kind of actually happy about that. I feel like it gives more depth to the piece. Her dress color is just perfection. Olive green is actually a favorite color of mine, and one of the many reasons I adore Coco. Her left sleeve was too long, so I shortened it so I matched with the right, and the shirt was kind of plain, so I tried to make it more interesting by adding green tones for the folds. My favorite part of all of this was coloring her hair. Like, that dirty blonde or reddish brown kind of color was just so very nice to look at through all of this, and I honestly think it's the best part. But yeah, there is Coco. Now, next up is Tangi, and oh boy, was she difficult. First off, my god, that hand. And secondly, she is the only peppy character out of the whole selection. She, coincidentally, was actually my first ever Animal Crossing villager, so I feel like I owe it to her to make this as good as possible. I didn't know exactly how to show her hyperness and pep, so I went for a sort of energetic walk with the peace sign. For the others, I didn't really want to incorporate anything from the animal form into their human form, but for Tangi, I feel like it just fit to give her a cat ear headband. The turtleneck and dress solidified how I wanted her to have that preppy puppy girl vibe. She has a high ponytail, and honestly, I feel like she'd be a cheerleader. I wanted to give her larger pupils to resemble her character sprite, and you gotta give her that chunky belt. She has a more olive and bright skin tone, and I decided to lean more into the tan shades for her blush. She has that Malibu girl tan, you know? For some reason, I decided to color in the hair first. Not sure why, but I usually do at the end, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference anyways. And to translate the leaf over into her human design, I dyed the tips of her ponytail hair green. Her dress was extremely bright and eye-popping, so I decided to pair it with the cooler whites and cooler orange sleeves. Her belt kind of reminds me of a preppy version of the WWE belt minus the wrestling involvement. Her striped gloves honestly remind me of candy canes, but yeah, here we go. Here's Tangi. Last and most certainly least is Maggie. Now, to be completely transparent with you, I was only planning on doing 3 drawings originally, but then decided to throw in another at the last minute since I thought the video wouldn't be long enough. So, here's our lovely Maggie. She may be a quick throw-in, but she's here to stay. Her design is definitely the most simple out of all of them, but it's simplicity that we need to end off this video. I decided to make her sleeves puffed since I thought it fit for that sort of sweet look to her. I gave her short pigtails to resemble her ears and her big bow. I gave her some less melanated skin patches to resemble her patches on her sprite. Her hair is ginger, similar to Tangi, and she has blue eyes, similar to Ronda. She definitely took the least amount of time due to her character design, but it was still incredibly fun and satisfying to draw her. I don't have much more to say, so just enjoy the rest of the speed paint. Thank you all so much for watching. This is my first ever voiceover video, and I'm excited to see what I can do in the future. I know my videos aren't the greatest, but I'm hoping I can improve as I upload more and more, and I'm excited to go on this journey with you. I'm open to constructive criticism and video ideas. I hope you enjoyed. Take care.